Sometimes when we find ourselves hunched over, sometimes particularly over winter, which it is here at the moment, it's that same thing of wanting to curl up like this in bed. And there's something that you don't necessarily want to be in an open posture when it's kind of a little bit cold and the time of year is a little bit more introverted. So whether it's time of year affected or whatever, something that I've found is if we utilize our body's natural spring-likeness and looking at the body as something that moves more in a wave-like fashion, how we can hope to remedy this resistance to wanting to stand up straight. Let's apply that spring principle, and which includes that kind of wave-like principle of movement. So if I'm trying to stand up poker straight like this and not enjoying it, and even if I'm thinking of my pillows and so forth, and no, I just want to be down here, let's just go with that impulse. We've talked about that in the past. We just go with what we've got. So let me just give in to that impulse to just, that feel. I mean, it looks terrible for an instructor sort of person to look like this, but this is more in keeping with how I feel, particularly during situations that I'd rather not be in, or typically in winter kind of weather. And as with a lot of the other exercises that we've done, we'll go with it and we'll just stop there. And then we'll just go with it a little bit more and see where our body wants to take us. So I'm just going to keep going there. My head is just feeling so heavy, so why don't I just give in to that? Now, you could take 5 or 10 minutes if you wanted to let this process work. But there's going to be probably, my guess is, and it may not be true for every time you do it, you're going to reach a point where there's sort of not a great deal happening. So what we can apply is all the leverage forces available to us to emphasize even more our position. So if I part the floor a little bit with my feet, just to get those hips out more, so I can just crunch down here. And all the time, what is my guidance system here? We often talk about moving into what feels good. I'm applying that same principle here. Retreat as far from that feeling of having to push. Ask ourselves, is there a position, is there a place that we can creep our way into bit by bit that our body is probably trying to reach for when it's up here and it's just wanting to go like that. It's just craving something else in terms of probably things like just giving up, kind of withdrawing. So if it's something as simple as withdraw, just go with that feeling. I want to withdraw. It might be from fear, it might be from feeling introverted and not particularly interactive and needing to focus more on things more internally. Whatever the reason, see if you can really get into that little dark cave of inner experience. If it's something like that, try and feel that out. Try and get in there. You can give yourself the proposition that, okay, you've only got 1 or 2 minutes left and I'm going to have to stand up like a poker and I don't want to be up there. I'll, cringe. Let's get down into where I really want to be, which might be just like a little curled up animal in their winter nest. Whatever the feeling that you have, go with that. Okay. And this is where my head wants to go. And it feels really nice shifting my feet into the floor and levering myself, just exploring that position and all the feelings that come with it. That does feel very satisfying. I'm beginning to wonder why I didn't do this a week ago instead of, fighting it all the time. That's it. Good. Feels good. So when you've given yourself a minute or so, just come up in whatever fashion you like. man, that's all I can say. I mean, I just feel totally different. I just did this same exercise about an hour ago, and I'm still getting more out of it. And if you just give yourself time to ask yourself how your body feels now, I mean, my goodness, I'm not hating pushing my body back, I'm loving it. This feels fantastic. I'm feeling all this more space in my body, there's more currents of energy, and I feel like I want to be open now. I'm not feeling like I'm punishing myself at all. It's like I've hit that, my spring has hit its contracted position, and now it wants to rebound me out. It doesn't want to be held there anymore. It's a natural rebound mechanism, and that feels great. And I feel good that I've satisfied something in my body that I've been withholding from it, thinking, you know, I'm doing the right thing. I'm an exercise instructor. I should be like this. Well, we're not really listening to my body at all, which is the real instructor here. That's always what is informing us more and more about the nature of our bodies and the nature of our surroundings that we're interacting with. So enjoy this. It's a lovely one because it's very much not just a physical exercise. If you can address all the accompanying emotions, it becomes all the more refreshing and rewarding. And who knows what you'll find down in that position. Apart from physical sensations, who knows what other feelings. If you're down there and you're feeling fear, a while ago I did this about a year ago, and I pushed down into my feet, and I felt that fear was starting to subside, which is very interesting. Just tracking where the body wants to go and letting it be the leader often reveals very interesting results.